live analysis, expert discussions on trending stories in politics, business, socio-economy, sports, and documentaries. So catch all your bits.
Good evening and welcome to Let's Talk on Atlantic Television Network. Let's Talk is a people-oriented show designed to communicate core issues centered on trends and to whom it may concern per time. On today's show, we'll look at the topic corruption. 12 billion naira traced to top Nigerian customs officers. And on Orasanye's report, federal government wouldn't outside civil servants, minister says. I have a guest on the show whom I will introduce to you when we come back from this short break. Stay tuned.
The happenings around the globe. Stay focused on the fact today. Only on ATN. From the line across the ocean to the land beyond the mountains, through the Sahara, we bring on-the-spot news, live analysis, expert discussions on trending stories.
Welcome back. With me on the show today is Honorable Churchill Nyakachi Wale. Honorable Churchill Nyakachi Wale is a political analyst. Good evening, Honorable Churchill.
Good evening.
It's a pleasure to have you again today.
My own pleasure.
All right. On to the story. An intense lobbying is ongoing at the highest hierarchy of the Nigerian government as powerful government officials attempt to cover up a multi-billion naira corruption scandal involving senior officials in the Nigerian Customs Service. At least 14 Nigerian Customs Service personnel, most of them in the service highest hierarchy, have been indicted in a robust EFCC investigation in the process of bribes paid to custom officials by smugglers importing and exporting contraband goods through the Nigerian borders. At least 7 of these officials were detained by the EFCC for days late last year, with some of them spending the festive period in detention when process of bribes allegedly from smugglers totaling over 12 billion naira were traced to them, report says. But for unknown reasons, all 7 of them were not prosecuted and have been allowed back to their duty post as if nothing happened. As the Nigerian government grapples with revenue challenges, custom officials rake in billions for themselves while sabotaging the government policies they were meant to protect. While the customs complicity in the movement of contraband items across Nigerian borders are well documented, like in a recent investigation by the Foundation for Investigative Journalism, the identification and prosecution of officials involved is a rarity. But in this EFCC investigation, at least 7 high-ranking officials of the NCS were grilled by the anti-graft agency and parts of the bribes they received confiscated. Customs insiders and other sources familiar with the matter told press that the officers were found to own properties and businesses way above what their earnings as customer officers could cater for. The press learned that the EFCC's investigation also involves at least 33 other officers of the service. According to a source, some of these officials amassed the largest tranche of these bribes from smugglers last year after the directive to close the Nigerian-Niger border by the Nigerian government as part of ECOWAS sanctions against the military junta that deposed the Nigerian president, Mohamed Bazoum. Although ECOWAS has now lifted the sanction, there were reports that goods were still smuggled through the borders with Nigeria, despite the initial border closure. However, this EFCC operation has revealed some of the customs officials accepting bribes from smugglers to allow for movement of goods through the borders. The smugglers pay bribes directly or through agents, designated accounts of the NCS officials, the source said, adding that most of the officers detained operate in Zone B, which operates in more than half the borders that Nigeria shares with Niger Republic in Sokoto, Katsina, Kano, and Jigawa states. The customs has 4 zonal headquarters across the country. Zone A in Lagos covers the entire southwest geopolitical zone. Zone B in Kaduna covers the northwest as well as the Niger, Kogi, Kwara, and the Federal Capital Territory. Zone C in Port Harcourt covers the southeast and south-south. Zone D covers the northeast states of Plateau, Benue, and Nasarawa states. 6 of the 7 identified officers worked in Zone B, while 1 officer, to whom more than 80% of the 12 billion naira was traced to, worked in Zone C, Port Harcourt. One of the arrested officers, the NCS Area Controller Zone B, Kaduna, Ibrahim Jallo, was found with $31,200 and 500,000 naira in cash when arrested, the source noted. Mr. Jallo only assumed duty as the Area Controller Zone B in January last year, where he was said to have quickly made 130 record seizures within 8 weeks of assuming position. But the EFCC traced suspected proceeds of the bribe from smugglers totaling 1.1 billion naira to him. Our sources revealed that the customs officer promptly refunded 250 million naira with a promise to refund the balance. The EFCC also traced 126 million naira to Mr. Jallo's personal assistant, Omar Tafaki. He has also refunded 12 million naira. Another officer involved in this saga is Kayode Kolade, the Comptroller Federal Operations Unit, Zone C, Port Harcourt. The anti-graft agency traced 9.5 billion naira suspected to be bribes from the smugglers to him, all of which was said to have received personally and through proxies. Between 2015 and 2023, it was learned that the EFCC detained Mr. Kolade for 3 days in December. He spent Christmas Day in detention. He has refunded 50 million naira and committed to refund 800 million naira within a short period. Another indicted officer, Nuruddin Musa, is the Comptroller of Enforcement, Kaduna Zone. The EFCC traced 950 million naira to him. The anti-graft agency has recovered 583 million naira from him after he spent days in detention. He has also promised to refund the rest. The EFCC's investigation found that Musa, who previously served as Area Comptroller, Katsina Area Command, was extraordinarily wealthy and owned lots of assets, including 2 filling stations and large trucks, all of which investigators suspect were acquired with illicit funds. Meanwhile, Hamisu Ibrahim, the officer in charge of Operation Zone B, Kaduna, was suspected to have garnered 120 million naira in bribes from smugglers between 2019 and 2023. As of January, he has refunded 13 million naira and promised to refund the rest. Meanwhile, Madugu Saleh and Muhammad Rabiu were suspected to have received 85 million naira and 84 million naira respectively from smugglers. Mr. Saleh has refunded 13.5 million and promised to refund the rest. Mr. Rabiu, the officer in charge of patrol on the Agangaro-Jibia Road, refunded 15 million naira to the anti-graft agency. The EFCC investigation, the arrests and refunds were made between November last year and January it was gathered. But despite this huge indictment against them, these officers have gone back to their duty posts without any prosecution by the EFCC or reprimand from the Nigerian Customs Service. Last month, Mr. Kolade, the Comptroller Zone C, one of the officers who returned parts of the proceeds of bribes he allegedly got from the smugglers, decorated some newly promoted officers in the zone. Efforts by press to get official reactions of the Nigerian Customs Service were unsuccessful. For days, the spokesperson of the Nigerian Customs Service, Aliyu Maiwada, did not respond to multiple telephone calls placed to his telephone line. He also did not respond to a detailed text message seeking comments as to why these officers were not punished and why they were allowed back to their duty posts, even though he received and read the messages. Now, Honorable Churchill, that's a lot.
It's a lot.
That is a lot.
You know, like
going on in Nigerian Customs Service. What actually is going on in this country?
the country, like I will always tell everybody, that the problem of this country is caused by the Nigerians. That is, we the Nigerians are the problems of this country. In the sense that there is nobody you will trust, even giving a position to him. Mostly a position that has to do with money. I will start from the head down to the tail before I will now hit the middle. when we are talking about the custom service. When our former president Olusegun Obasanjo left office, he thought about the betterment of Nigeria. The telecommunication we are thinking about today, I wouldn't say that Olusegun Obasanjo in any way that is a very innocent person, but he thought about something, the betterment of Nigeria. He brought telecommunication, the phone we are using today, and they came in. He looked at Nigeria and said, Nigeria will be better, and he brought in Yaradua. The death of Yaradua is the statement of Nigerian problem. Because I believe that Yaradua is the only person that has sympathy, that believes in the progress of Nigeria, that believes in the development of Nigeria. Now, Olusegun did not bring Goodluck Jonathan to be the president of Nigeria. He brought Yaradua as to be his successor. And Nigerians were happy. Everybody believes that, yes, when Yaradua comes, and when Yaradua comes, things changed. A bag of cement at that time was 1,300 naira. Everything was moving well. Yes, telephone was cost, but at that particular time, the price started reducing. Dollar started reducing. Nigerians started breathing well. Immediately, Goodluck Jonathan entered. Everything started coming up. Yes, I will say it clearly. Goodluck Jonathan is from South, but I will say the truth, and nothing but the truth. Now, bag of cement now became 1,005. From there, it increased until when it was increasing, till when Buhari came. We now, from 2,500 at that time, we now started seeing 3,600. Buhari inherited the corruption of Goodluck and increased it to his own. And today, the current president has also inherited it and increased it. That is the problem we have. Everybody...
The presidents are not responsible for...
No, let me tell you. What I'm telling you about the corruption, I'm telling you because of the persons they employ. In every government we have head of services. And when the head of services are corrupt, the system in that their own jurisdiction, in their service, is corrupt. That is the reason why I told you initially that there is nobody who will give a position now in Nigeria and you will go back home and be rest assured that Nigerians are happy that they will get back a better result. Nobody. As I tell you, the transportation before, from now to Lagos, from here to Lagos, was like, when Buhari was president, it was like 15,000 naira. Check what it is now. We're talking about 30-something thousand. The air ticket is higher. Everything is higher because the dollar is even higher. Now, when we come to outside the services, the police, the custom, and this thing, all these services we have, outside them being corrupt, because none of them will tell me that they are not corrupt. In the sense, I asked a question one day. I said, all this money EFCC is collecting, are they giving account to Nigeria? Which account are they putting the money back to? Nobody answered that question. The money DSS is collecting, where are they putting it? Because I can remember the money of River State money. The money we alleged that is River State money, and which is true. That was seen in House 16B. House 16B in Lagos State. Ikoyi. That money, today we don't know where that money is. And nobody has told us that that money is in so account or in so account. That is one. Now, look at this matter critical. Somebody being arrested for a crime and not being prosecuted. Who arrested him? The police arrest somebody that they heard that 200,000 naira. They will be eager to prosecute the person to go to court, to go to prison. So the person will go to prison, even if it's remand. But this one, they arrested the person and you saw that kind of amount, considering the salary of the person, and the person is not prosecuted. What are you telling Nigerians?
The persons.
The persons.
Accumulatively.
40 persons. That is
12
what?
billion naira.
12 billion.
Not to 40 persons.
No, about 40 persons.
Other people were just gathered, but the major stakeholders, the major
stakeholders
were
we
about
have 7. Now, we're talking about 12 billion naira. 7 persons. Okay, let's say 1 billion for each of them, which is not true. What we heard is 7 billion, 12 billion.
12 billion.
We don't know the real amount. That is it. And how can a country survive the economy when they cannot say the truth to themselves?
Now let's come down to the economy of the nation. Now Nigeria is seriously grappling with economic crisis, seemingly drowning under the weight of economic crisis.
This is the foundation.
Now, what effects do you think this whole situation, this endemic corruption, what effect do you think it has on the economy?
That is what I'm telling you. This is the foundation of Nigeria economy today is the corruption that is attached to it. Nigerian government, in quotes, all, including from the federal government to the state government, they are all running corruption.
Local governments, are they exempted?
I can only talk about my own local government because I know my chairman.
But you're talking about other states that you
I don't know.
So
I should also talk about the local government in the state. In short, the 774 local government, apart from Ikure local government, I would say it anywhere.
Apart from Ikure local
government. Yes,
I
know why I would say it. Then any person should challenge me for that. Because I worked with him and I know, yes, I know the area the man has suffered. And I've challenged him, I told him one-on-one that nobody, no local government chairman will come now and after you. You understand?
Honorable Churchill.
Let me cut.
How many local government chairmen give account of stewardship? Did the Ikure local government give account of stewardship?
Of recently,
when he was
when I was a councillor. When I was a councillor.
Did you give account of stewardship?
Yes, he gave account.
Did you give account of stewardship when you were a councillor? Yes.
When I gave account of stewardship, till today I'll send it to you.
Okay.
I gave account of stewardship, and I'll send it to you. In short, my income was far different from my expenses.
Okay.
In short, I added my hard-earned money to my expenses. I'll send it to you.
Okay.
And when I send it to you, we'll publish it for Nigerians to read it. So what I'm saying is that the corruption in Nigeria is the foundation of the economic problem we are having. Even in secondary schools, in primary schools, you will see when they tell you that this state has a free education, somebody will come and say that we should pay for exam fee. Who said exam fee? Because you're a teacher, you are not comfortable with your salary, you want to come and extort money from the students through the exam fee. Who told you to collect money for exam fee? And the same thing is what is happening. How would you tell me that the major area where the country is based on revenue, and there is this kind of high theft?
Not just but the smuggling syndicates.
No, what we are talking about, let's talk about the high thefts. Because stealing of Nigerian funds, you understand? What they are telling you, these people steal. Okay, let me just say one thing. That so many persons that know me too well will understand what I'm saying. I was a clearing agent before I got admission to go to school. And when you go to meet a custom officer, and you tell the custom officer has seen that this particular goods, it has also percentage, and you pay so percentage, they want to collect money from you to make sure that the thing passes.
Okay.
And is that not corruption?
It is corruption.
It is corruption. So the whole system has to be sanitized.
Okay.
From A to Z. If only our president, the sitting president, if only he wants this country to come back to what it is supposed to be, he's supposed to go and sanitize this country by bringing in expatriates. Nigerians are working.
Right now,
what I mean expatriates.
Federal government wants to stop expatriates.
No, when I'm talking about expatriates, I'm not talking about bringing in foreigners.
You mean Nigerians in diaspora?
Nigerians in diaspora who have better brains. Okay, this woman that was a commissioner for, minister for finance before when Goodluck was a Okonje. Where was she? Was she in Nigeria before Goodluck called her? No. We have better brains outside there. We have better brains that can serve Nigeria better in all the ministries.
Okay.
And they should come. You know, when somebody sees good thing in the country where he's staying and comes back to Nigeria, you understand? And the person is coming to serve his country, he has different thing in mind.
He want to replicate.
He want to replicate what he saw.
So why are our politicians not replicating what they see?
They don't believe in our. See, all these politicians you are seeing, they only believe in going to US to buy house, going to Canada to buy house, going to India to build a hospital where they can employ Indian doctors in case if their wife or their children are sick, they will fly their children to their hospital.
Interesting.
That's all.
Okay.
They are not interested in building our country. And that is the reason why none of them will say anything concerning this. A ministry. No. They are supposed to have a work doing. See, I don't believe in you are sitting at home and they are paying you salary. No.
But aren't there a lot of ghost workers in the civil service?
That is where I am saying directly that I don't believe in sitting at home and they are paying you salary. When you are a civil servant, go to work. If you don't have anything to work, then look for another work to work.
Now, the panic in the civil service right now as a result of the implementation of Orasaye report is that when some of these parastatals are merged, when some are submerged and some completely removed, it may affect civil servants because
the employment that is.
The federal government is coming out to say we are not going to downsize. So now the question is, how does federal government intend to save costs?
Okay.
When they are also not going to downsize.
Now, why the federal government is looking at not downsizing is because of the high level of unemployment we have in the country. Because they are looking at the Orasaye's reports that he wants to bring in, contribute to the higher level of unemployment in the country. But that is not. In China, there are people that produces pork There are people that produce. See, the problem of this country is that they don't want to go into industries. Nigeria doesn't want to focus on industrialization. And because we doesn't want to focus on industrialization, that is the reason why there are so many problems everywhere. Okay, for example, there is a friend of mine that won a contract of the tax collection or the landing charges collection of helicopter in Nigeria.
Okay.
And he's supposed to have started that work since, but they are playing politics with it. And why are they playing politics with it? Because they believed that they have to get something from it. But that would have been an avenue where they will give out jobs to people. Because when you are working and being paid, you will not complain. But when you are in the house, you are not working. It causes it makes some people to have edema. I mean, obesity.
Because they are staying.
Because they are staying at home, eating money they are suffering for.
A lot of civil servants who stay at home, they are actually working.
What are they working?
They have businesses, side businesses that they.
Those side businesses, they only depend on when the economy high, they increase their goods. That is it. So what I'm saying in actual sense is that let's look at the area where we can invest. The country can invest more on industrialization and close down some certain ministry. You understand? Downsize some certain ministry. Then involve it in industrialization.
The concern is that one of the objectives of the federal government for implementing Orasanyo's report is to save cost of governance. Now, if the government is still coming out to say, okay, we are implementing this report, but we are not downsizing. The question is, how is government saving cost of governance? Because it's still the same number of civil servants who will be put into different parastatals. Even though the ones that will be completely removed. So is the government saying that they are going to absorb the civil servants in those parastatals into other parastatals?
Okay, let me come to this. Like I've said it before, I will say it again. Let me just calm down and explain it very well so you understand.
Okay, in like 2 minutes.
Like 2 minutes. If our federal government now understands that, yes, we have issues in our economy, they will believe. Because there was when China was suffering more than what we are suffering now.
Okay.
Other countries too. So if they will believe, they should not involve themselves. They should bring professionals. Professionals are there.
Okay.
That will involve these particular issues, this particular matter of these ministries that are not contributing anything to the economy, to make them, to convert them to industries where they can now be productive to Nigerians, to our economy. And we will not be happy that this is what they are doing. Any person that didn't go to work should not be paid, and any person that goes to work should be paid. Then they will not know the people that are alive, because so many of them are not alive. The big boys are collecting the money.
Interesting.
Yes. So many of them are not alive. The big boys are collecting the money, or their family is still collecting the money. Do you know how many persons that died yesterday?
So perhaps the government should re-verify the civil servants.
Mostly in the federal ministry. They should re-verify. Then before they will either go into downcasting or what?
Downsizing.
Downsizing,
Right.
Sorry.
Okay. Thank you.
You understand?
Yes. Thank you so much, Mr. Churchill. Sadly, that's the much we can take on today's episode of Let's Talk. Thank you so much, Honorable Churchill, for being here today.
God bless you.
It's a pleasure, as always.
Thank you.
You can always stay connected on all Atlantic Television Network socials, Facebook and YouTube, Atlantic Television Network, Instagram and TikTok, Atlantic TV Network 1, and on Twitter, Atlantic TV Net. Watch us live on our website, www.atlanticnetwork.tv. Do not forget, peace and unity are the pathways to progress. Thank you for watching. I am Ugu Laurentia Choma. Global News comes up shortly after now. Good night.
Business, social